Okay. We should be live.
Yay! I'm so happy. We already have, this is 2 viewers already. What? And we already have a like. What? Alright. So what we do, Mårten teaches me some Swedish. His Swedish is already pretty decent.
It ought to be.
So that's why we focus on me. Because it's all about me. No, I'm just kidding. We also help.
I mean, it sort of is.
But
this is your YouTube channel.
Yeah, but it's more about the community, you know?
Yeah.
And so we teach in a very fun and laid back way some Swedish. And then we do the kvach.
Yes. Then it's just a hangout stream.
Is kvach? I feel like kvach is a German word, but it's also like a Yiddish word.
Possibly.
I feel like it's a word I've heard like on The Nanny or something.
Possibly.
Hey, Stuppert, are you familiar with the word kvach? Being like nonsense and silliness.
We're live.
Hey, Andreas. Is that from that show back in the day?
No.
Oh.
That was just because Stuppert wrote Live and in Living Color.
Oh.
That's why. No, that's from the Catch Me If You Can, the musical.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a musical.
I think that's the only song I've heard from it.
We need to look that up.
Yeah.
The Stuppert has heard of the word kvach. Okay.
We weren't actually properly reading it. We were just picking out sentences.
Yes, so I'm looking for a good sentence. Because I want to help people have sentences that actually they can use.
Kom ihåg att han är en smutsig råtta.
That wasn't one of the helpful phrases.
Remember, he's a dirty rat. I think the whiteboard is in...
It's in the closet. Yes. The Stuppert said, my parents and teachers called nonsense other words, and some not printable. Yeah. Hey, Gaia. Mårten is going to get the whiteboard. So this is a book called Groan och Främlingen by Max Veldhuis.
The Frog and the Stranger.
Andreas
The Stranger's a rat.
15 minuter en kvart. Äta här eller på påse.
Oh, that's an old... That's like an old sketch about like a restaurant proprietor who doesn't speak very good Swedish, and so someone asks like how long until it's ready, and he goes 15 minutes, quarter of an hour. We just same thing.
Oh,
and then he goes.
Are you eating here or on the bag?
Yes.
I didn't think it made sense.
No.
What did he mean to say?
Like here or do you want it in a bag?
Oh, you know? So on the bag or in the bag?
But also you wouldn't eat it in the bag anyway. So.
Right here.
Okay.
So there's a bit of this book where people are like, oh, there's a stupid rat who's in town.
The rat is...
The symbol for racism.
It's a Romany metaphor.
So the little frog goes to see it to make his own decision about this rat instead of just listening to everyone else talking about how he's poop. And he says, "Nu har jag sett honom."
I think we
did we do that phrase? Oh, I didn't remember.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure.
Maybe.
I think so, yes.
Okay, never mind.
No, wait, we didn't. We talked about asking about having seen him, but I don't think we actually...
We can say the sentence. Oh, that's so funny. Andreas said a restaurant here in Uppsala had that as part of their slogan. Hot rats? I don't remember saying anything about him being warm. Or attractive.
I don't know either.
Okay. So, nu har jag sett honom.
Yes, but also it just those words. Nu har jag. That's very useful.
Now I have.
Yes.
Nu har jag kramat dig. Is that right?
Yes.
Nu har jag kramat dig. Now I have hugged
Here's
you.
the full phrase. Nu har jag sett honom. I hope it is
I hope
legible.
it's showing up.
Yes.
It's hard with the ring light, and, well, it's always been rough with lights. Hey, Maddie!
Oh. Oh, apparently it was referring to Frank Zappa.
Oh, we're not educated enough to know
Yeah,
about all these things.
I've never gone into Zappa. I've never really listened to any of his stuff. I should try it sometime.
So, han verkar trevlig. He seems great.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
Han verkar trevlig.
You're Germaning.
I'm Germaning.
Han verkar trevlig.
It got so into my head that V's were F's and F's were V's. Han verkar...
No, F's aren't V's. W's are V's in German.
You're a V. Han verkar trevlig. He seems great or wonderful.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes. Trevlig is not that strong.
Another thing to say is trevlig att träffas.
Yes.
Nice.
And it's trevligt.
Trevligt att träffas, which means nice to meet you. That trevlig, there's like the E has like different levels to the melody in the vowel, like trevlig, right?
Trevligt. Yeah.
The E is like a whole melody to it.
Yeah, there's a bit of it. Yeah, most people have a bit of a lilt in that one. Yeah.
You say it.
Trevligt.
Trevligt. Trevligt att träffas. Oh yeah, there's your favorite sentence. Kom ihåg att han är en smutsig råtta.
Yeah, that's why I said it, because I could see it on the page.
Don't forget he's a dirty rat. Oh, han kommer säkert. Let's ask Gay if she knows what this means, because she's really good at translating. Han kommer säkert att äta upp all maten för oss och aldrig uträtta någonting själv. I'm not even sure about what uträtta means.
Uträtta is a bit of a strange word, or just like it isn't.
Sorry, these aren't actually useful sentences.
Very commonly used. Uträtta is accomplish.
Okay. I'll read the sentence again. Or actually, you read it with your mother tongue.
Right.
My daughter is wondering why you keep saying her name. Oh yeah, because you're saying Melody. Well, Melody, remember that your name actually does have a meaning too. Like songs have melodies and languages have melodies. Okay, I was talking a little fast, but now Mårten's gonna say it slower.
Han kommer säkert att äta upp all maten för oss och aldrig uträtta någonting själv.
So it means he's surely going to eat up all of our food and never accomplish anything himself. Says the duck. Sa ankan. Råttor är lata och fräcka. Lata och fräcka. That's probably a good phrase.
I'll write them in the singular.
Okay. I'm gonna guess one of those words means lazy.
Which one?
Lata?
Yes. So yes, lat is lazy.
And fräcka is...
Fräck is like rude.
Rude.
Yeah.
Well, you're the one being rude, duck. Can you believe some ducks?
What the duck? No, I mean...
So, Is there anything that we could make useful from Han kommer säkert att äta upp all maten? Äta upp all maten. That's a good phrase. Vill du äta upp maten? Or you would say to a child, äta upp all din maten.
But then when you would make it, then you just say ät upp.
Ät upp din mat.
Yes. Yeah, let's just use that phrase.
Sitt ner. Sluta. Once you start saying words for kids, all the rest of them come out too.
Ät upp din mat. Eat your food.
In English, we say eat up.
Eat up your food.
I mean,
yes.
I've heard it. I don't eat up. I wonder if that one's purely from just direct translating from Swedish. Do you say that in German? Eat up?
No, I don't think so.
The nerve of that duck.
Yeah.
Ät. See, there's another word with the melody. Ät.
Ät upp.
It's like it's got like multiple vowels in it, and there's just 2 letters. Ät.
Ät.
Ät. That reminds me of when I was in Ireland, and little girl, my name's Katie, and she's like, Katie. Katie, my mom's gonna have a baby. Never forget that little girl. That was 13, 14 years ago. Whoa, I'm old. Ist dein Essen auf? That's right. That is the German. Well done. Good job, Germaning, yeah. You already wrote. We didn't actually say lätt. Oh, we didn't say fräcka.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Okay, fräcka is rude. Blir inte fräcka.
Var inte.
Right.
Var inte. And again, fräcka is when it's plural. It's when you're talking about several people. So,
Ni borde inte vara fräcka. See, that's plural. For plural people.
Okay, yeah, but that's...
But you can do singular.
But also, like, how is that a useful sentence? When did you ever say that?
Right. I am not qualified to help anyone learn Swedish. Why did I start the Let's Learn Swedish group?
Because you wanted to learn Swedish.
Oh yeah, that's why.
I think let's move on.
Okay, let's move on.
The next sentence there is...
Men det är inte sant.
Yeah, but men det var inte sant.
Yeah, but I was making it more useful.
Yeah, but that's also true. Like, but this is also useful, I think, because it's like if you have heard something or even said something before that you realize was wrong.
Oh, like I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, förlåt.
It's also in a like a Christmas ring dance song, like we dance around the tree, where that line shows up. Men det var inte sant, men det var inte.
Oh yeah. So, men det var inte sant, but it was not true. Oh, good thing Gay doesn't care about useful. Phew. She's not disappointed about spending her time here. So, inte sant, not true. Hey, nice to see you. I'm pretty sure his name's Jim.
Jim
99. I hope you'll stick around if you can. It's going to be fun. It's already fun, but it will get even funner. Are you using paper to wipe that? That's weird. Never saw anybody use paper to wipe an eraser.
Well, before that I was using my fingers.
Okay.
So. Alltid i farten is also...
Råten var alltid i farten. Fart. What does that mean? Alltid i farten.
Always on the move.
Alltid i farten.
I farten.
Isn't that
sort of
also
gets swallowed.
farten?
Yes.
Auffahrt, Einfahrt.
Yeah.
They're related, huh?
Yeah, fart. Fart is speed.
In growing up, fart was a bad word, and we didn't say it. We said bloop. Oh, you blooped. Who blooped?
But yes, the rat was always in the fart. As we say in Swedish about traffic safety, it is not the fart that kills; it is the smell.
Okay.
That's a dad joke, which I guess I should have saved for later.
Yes.
You weren't even listening.
I wasn't even listening. Sorry. Say it again.
I said we'll talk about like traffic safety and such. In Sweden, we sometimes say it's not the fart that kills; it is the smell.
Smell is another word for speed?
No, smell is like a hit, an impact.
Oh, the crash.
Yes. So it is not the speed which kills, it's the impact. But it's not the fart that kills, it's the smell.
Yeah, that's a dad joke, all right. I got distracted by the book because of just how cool the rat is sitting there. And the frog goes up to him and says, "Hej, jag är grodan. Jag förstår dig," sa råttan. "Det syns." He's very clearly a frog. He says, "Hi, I'm Frog."
Yes.
I understand.
I could tell by the way you look. Like I could see that.
Det syns.
It is visible or it is obvious.
It is obvious.
Yes, that seems rather obvious.
That's so. It's so few letters to say it is obvious. It is clear.
Yeah. Yes.
Självklart. That's another.
I can see that is probably like the best translation of the scenes. Yeah. Then I also like the next line there.
Jag är inte dum.
Jag är inte dum.
I am not dumb. Jag kan läsa och skriva och jag kan tala 3 språk. Svenska och engelska och spanska.
Jag kan tala.
So this is when you want to say how many languages you can speak.
Yes, I can speak 3 languages.
And you can actually say that.
Jag kan tala 3 språk.
Han kan prata engelska, svenska och 4 språk. Han kan prata engelska, franska, tyska och svenska. Yeah.
Min franska min tyska är min franska är
My franska is kaput. You're too funny, Mårten.
Yeah.
Just you wait.
Yeah, well,
Just you wait. His name is Mårten Bjärvida.
And
Mårten
I'd say it
Bjärvida.
is about time to
3 here as well. Andreas can speak English, Swedish, and Scottish.
Scots.
Skotsk.
No, it's just called Scots. Like
I was helping it to be more Swedish.
Yeah, but I was being serious.
Like as the actual Gaelic language?
No, Scots.
Because I was referring to it just being a very difficult accent for some people.
Well, no, but Scots is now they are really working on like really defining it as a proper. Well, I guess it's a dialect, but it's but they like. That was the whole thing that there is a Scots Wikipedia, but then it turned out that one of the main contributors to Scots Wikipedia
was an American kid.
Yeah, it was just like
he was just making it all up.
He was just like he just started like for fun, sort of doing it, and then.
He got in too deep.
And then, like, they made him a moderator, and, like, we became really trusted, and he's like, I don't, like, what the heck do I do now? And so he just kept doing it until finally someone found out that, yeah, he was, he was sitting in Illinois or something and had never, ever been to...
What's that gorgeous lady on TikTok with the red hair?
Oh, Natty Dread.
Oh my goodness, hearing her speak with her Scottish dialect and in her singing, she's just amazing.
Yeah.
So yes, we digressed.
Yes.
It's not like Simru. That's Welsh.
Yes.
I know that because Dale's been on this channel and he's Welsh, and his channel's one of his YouTube channels is called Simru Cinema. It's probably not pronounced Simru, but that's just as good as my American.
Yeah, I think
European.
I think it might be hard to see, but I'm not sure, so I'm not gonna.
It would be for going along with cinema. It would be better if it was Simru Cinema.
Yeah, but anyway.
Anyway.
Yes,
that was very conducive. We all can speak Swedish now. So Gaia said, better than my Swedish, I'm sure. My Swedish didn't even have a chance to get rusty. It's never been solid as metal anyway.
Yes.
But
I have a mind like a steel trap. It's just a bit rusty.
Your Swedish is getting there, Gaia. Yeah. I believe in you. So Mårten, the thing about Mårten and jokes is, like, anytime it's been like, oh, now we're telling jokes, right? Like, when that vibe is happening, then I can see Mårten's, I can see him thinking, I can hear the gears turning, and I can tell by how he breathes that he's, like, ready to tell it. And he goes, like... So, I was thinking, like, well, we get tired. We have kids, and he has school, and, like, how can we do this so that it's fun? And, what should we talk about? And I was like, ooh, I know what would be fun for Mårten. Jokes.
Yes.
So I took that thumbnail, and we started giggling from that point.
But yeah, I was actually sort of funny because, like, a much bigger YouTuber than us, John Green of the Vlog Brothers.
Yeah, just a bit, just a titch bigger.
Like, did a short video about jokes that I saw today, and he, like, asked people to share jokes in the comments as I was just reading through those, and there was one there that, like, I wanted to share with you, but...
And I said, wait for the video, Mårten!
It is so very, very dumb.
Here you go.
And some people might find it offensive, but, like, I don't think it's not that bad.
Is it bad for kids?
No, I don't think so. But
okay.
It's like, no, this one isn't.
Because Maddie might still be here.
Yes. So I'll avoid things that are that bad. But this was so. A man has lived a long and fulfilling life. He dies and moves on to the other side, and he sees before him scenes from his life laid out along a beach, and and going between these images are a series of footprints, sometimes two sets of footprints, sometimes only one set, and he turns to God and he says, Father, why did you sometimes abandon me on my walk? And God says, my son, I've always been with you. And also occasionally you were being stalked by the invisible man. Yeah, that's the whole joke.
A solid start to this. Considering when I this was aptly named, Mårten tells dad jokes, we groan. That reminds me of one that's like, why were there some footprints where I was alone? Because you were really annoying and I wanted to go get a hot dog, so I put you into a corner for a little bit so I could get a break.
So dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Mårten was into jokes by elementary. Like, jokes was one of the reasons that you pursued English so heavily.
Oh, yes.
Because?
Or it was a bit of both. it sort of fed into each other. I was already interested in English, but I was also my teacher in like sixth grade had an English joke book. I would sneak up to her desk during breaks and read it, like, which was, it was there. Like she would tell a joke each English lesson, but I would read ahead.
Can you believe that guy?
Most of the time, I was the only one who got the jokes when she read them to the class anyway.
Oh, I can just see you just like all the other kids going, huh?
There is actually one joke that I'm pretty sure I got from that book that I still remember and still occasionally use.
Oh.
And that is, why was the Egyptian kid so confused?
Why?
Because his daddy was a mummy. I'm pretty sure that was from that book. I got that one.
Okay.
That's
come on, Mårten.
So dumb.
Hit us.
Should I do one of my dumb, like, long jokes?
Who wants to hear a long joke that's probably built on a very terrible pun at the end? Basil, what are you doing? Just checking the walls, dear.
I'm not 100% sure of context, but I'm going to guess that that's from Faulty Towers.
Huh.
Oh yes, okay. Well, so there is the old joke about the man who was like who had been away at some conference and was driving home. It was late in the evening, and his car breaks down, and he's goes looking for help, and there is a small monastery out there. It's in the middle of nowhere, and he talks to the monks, and they agreed to give him shelter for the night, and then help him get his car fixed in the morning. And so they prepare a bed for him, and he sleeps. And then 3 a.m. there is this loud noise that just fills the entire monastery, and he just startled awake, runs out. No one else seems to have noticed. And in the morning at breakfast, he asks the monks, and they all act like they heard nothing, and they all slept well the whole night. So he's very confused, but he goes home and lives his life. And then the next year, after he's attended the very same conference and is on his way home, his car breaks down in the same spot. And he finds his way back to the same monastery, and they all sort of chuckle at the odd coincidence. And they prepare a bed for him, and then at 3 a.m. he was woken up by that same noise again. Woo! And he is absent. So this time he is certain there's something going on. And so finally so in the morning, he really corners one of the monks and really you have to tell me what is going on. Finally the monk goes, okay, since you've happened to be here on that night 2 years in a row, guess we can't hide it from you. Yes, there is something going on that once a year on that particular night, but I can't tell you anything about it. It's a secret that is only known to us monks. And the guy is just like, okay, no, I can't stand this. I am much too curious. I want to join the order. And it's like, well, if you're absolutely certain that that's what you want, it's like, yes, I need to know what this is now. And so he goes through the whole process of joining the monastery, and becomes a novice, and spends 3 years at the monastery. And once a year, on that same night, at 3 a.m., that loud noise fills the entire monastery again. And finally, after 3 years as a novice, he is allowed to take his vows. And so, on that same night, he gets woken up at 2 a.m. by the abbot, who brings him down with him to the basement, where they open a secret door that he had never seen before. And he steps into this hidden room right as the clock strikes 3. And do you know what he saw?
No.
Well, I'm afraid I can't tell you, because only members of the order are allowed to know.
And those are the kind of jokes that you really could draw out into,
into
hours and hours.
Yeah, I mean, like this.
That was probably the short version.
Yeah. I mean, normally I would have it be at least 3 times that he stays there before the monks own up to it or anything. You know, I decided to cut it off after the second time this time.
Oh, that's big of you.
And you can add in all these like weird little rituals that he has to go through and stuff like that too. Yeah. So dumb.
I remember being so shocked how Denise liked long jokes ending in puns.
Yes. Oh.
You never know which people are going to love the long build up to dumb pun jokes.
That is, I mean, speaking of like jokes that you really can stretch out, there is the world's longest joke, which I only tell a much condensed version of, but it's about a guy who gets lost in the desert, and bumps into but he finally finds his way to a small oasis, but where he meets a talking snake. And it turns out that this snake is called Nathan and is the guardian of the lever that would cause the end of the world. And eventually, and the man manages to win Nathan's trust. Andreas is explaining his joke earlier was from Fawlty Towers. So I was at least right about that. I haven't seen enough of Fawlty Towers to really...
to get the jokes.
Yeah. But yes, so the man earns the trust of Nathan, the snake who guards the lever, which would cause the end of the world. And, you know, gets some food and drink and such. But then Nathan says that, like, in exchange, I would ask a favor of you. You see, I'm getting old, and it will soon be time for me to retire from my service and hand the lever, which would cause the end of the world, to my son, Nate Jr. But I don't want him to be stuck here for his entire life. I would prefer for him to see the world first. So would you take him with you to let him see the world before he takes his rightful position here with me? And then and he agrees. And then that's the whole thing where it becomes the world's longest joke, is that you can just tell of all of their adventures out in the world. I'm not going to do that.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to skip to the point where they are returning through the desert, driving a jeep. When, as they are approaching, the jeep suddenly malfunctions terribly, and they are headed straight for the lever which would cause the end of the world.
No!
And they cannot stop. And they realize that, and so the man looks at Nate Jr., the snake next to him, and says, "I'm sorry. I think the only way for me to avoid avoid causing the end of the world, just to swerve. But then I'm afraid I will hit your father. What do we do? And it was at that moment they had the terrible realization of what had to happen. For alas, it was better Nate than Lever.
Yeah. Wow. Ooh, Ian's here. An Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman walk into a bar, and the barman says, "What is this, some kind of joke?" And Jim said, "A horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, 'Hey you, why the long face?'" Classics.
Yes. What is that too? There is the joke. A pastor, a priest, and a rabbit walk into a blood bank, and the rabbit says, "I think I'm a typo."
Oh. Wow, that's double layers. Because rabbit, yeah, do you get it? Do you get it? You're so cute. I got some good English, Irish, and Scottish and people jokes when I was in Ireland. Like, there was a Englishman, an Irishman, and Scotsman, and they were in jail and they had to get whipped. And they asked the Irishman, "What would you like to have to be whipped?" And he said, "I'll take a pillow." And the Englishman said, "I'll take 2 pillows." And the Scotsman said, "I'll take the Englishman."
How many Baptists does it take to change the light bulb?
I don't know.
Me neither. Oh, light bulb jokes.
Light bulb jokes. Or you also really like the, how many Zen Buddhists does it take to change a light bulb or something like that?
2. One who changes it. There's also how many therapists does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know.
Only 1, but the light bulb has to want to change.
Oh, yeah. And crossing the road jokes.
Oh, and they just mentioned the Bellman jokes because so often with these jokes, like we're talking about this guy, and that guy, it becomes like you end up like pointing out some certain like ethnic group or something, and it's sort of mean. So in Sweden, we started telling jokes about Bellman, who was this like he was a great poet and like bard in I don't know when, but a couple hundred years ago, and he was known for like being both witty and a bit of like getting himself in trouble, and so we just made him be the guy who does all the weird stuff in the jokes. Oh, but here was there's Lindholm. So how many Baptists does it take? 1 board and 8 committees. Yeah. A Zen Buddhist walks into a pizza place and says, "Make me one with everything." Yeah, that was good too. But yeah, what was that? There's one with a Bellman joke that is like 17th century. Thank you, Andreas. That is sort of like it's not terribly dirty, but it's like it was like once Bellman went to the Queen and said, "So, I would bet you 100 kroner that I can know something, that I know something about you that I shouldn't be able to know." And the Queen says, "Go ahead. I bet my 100 kroner that you have a birthmark on your left buttock." And the Queen says, I certainly do not. Prove it. And sure enough, she did. And Bellman walked away from there smiling. And one of the servants goes, "Why are you so happy? You just lost the bet for 100 kroner." "Well, yes, certainly. But you see, hiding in the closet is the king. And I bet him 500 kroner that I could get the queen to show me her buttocks."
Ian said, "My army friend told me this one. How many Marines does it take to change a light bulb? None, because they're not afraid of the dark."
Yeah, I tell that one with just how many real men does it take. But that's a bit toxic. So I like Marines. Marines is better. There's also how many surrealists does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
3. 1 to fill the meat grinder with brightly colored power tools, and 2 to hold the giraffe.
Yeah, that's pretty surreal. Like this video, pity like. Mårten, tell the joke where the people are in the haunted house.
Oh, you're right. Yes, that one. Okay. So yeah, there's a group of friends, 4 friends who have hired a cabin up in the woods among the mountains for a vacation. And they're just hanging out, and then suddenly they hear this strange creaking noise, and then floating in through the front door is this spectral casket with decorated with skulls and crossbones, and they're of course very frightened by this thing, and so they all run from the hallway into the kitchen and close the door behind them. And they look around and they realize that now there are only 3 of them. But they don't have time to process it any more than that, because the spectral casket starts floating through the kitchen door, and so they take off again and run into the bedroom and shut the door behind them. Look around and realize now they are only 2. And right then the creaking noise is heard again, and this strange coffin is floating in through the door, and so they take off again. And when one of the men runs into the bathroom and closes the door behind him, he realizes he is alone. And then he hears the creaking noise again, and this casket starts floating in through the door, and he just panics and backs up toward the sink, and it opens up. There's a medicine cabinet there, and he opens it up, and he just panics, and he starts grabbing things. He grabs Band-Aids and tosses at them, and it just keeps floating towards him. And he grabs some painkillers and he throws them, and the casket keeps floating toward him. And then he grabs a bottle of cough syrup and he throws it, and it stopped the coffin.
So he heard it with a shorter answer.
It must have been the surrealist.
Oh yeah. How many surrealists to take? Herring. Yeah, that worked.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's also, how many narcissists does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
Just one. He just stands there and holds it, and then the world revolves around him.
You're so happy right now, huh?
Yeah. Dumb jokes.
It's funny to see the delay and to see what happened before.
Yeah.
To see your very pleased smile there. So, are you running out of jokes?
I just want to say that when it is my time to pass on from this world, I wish to go quietly in my sleep like my great-grandfather, not screaming in panic like his passengers.
I used to have that on a sticker on a school notebook. Back in the day. You remember the joke that I used to tell all the time?
The muffins?
The cabbage. Oh, the muffins. Yeah.
Oh, right. The cabbage joke, too. Yeah, those are both pretty good.
Okay. The muffins. So, there were 2 muffins in an oven. And one of them...
Oh, can I do the first line?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And so one of them goes, hot in here, isn't it?
And the other one goes, talking muffin! If only Maria was here. I feel like that was a huge quote of our tour together.
Yeah.
Just saw the playback of Glöm inte bort att kom ihåg att du har dåligt minne. I'll try not to forget that I have a bad memory.
Oh yeah, that's another classic joke. It's like these 2 older gentlemen. So I used to have a lot of problems with my memory, but then I started taking these new pills, and
what's the pill called?
Well, it's oh goodness, what? You know the colored part of your eye. What's that called again?
Iris?
Right. Iris! What's the name of my pills?
I heard it with... This is
the flower with the thorns.
It's pretty... That's a word pun. I decided I don't like blonde jokes anymore since I have 2 little blondies that I'm the mom of.
Yeah.
I used to love them growing up. Like, no, it's not funny to call blonde people dumb.
Yeah.
Darn it. Norwegians, on the other hand.
No, again, that's why we have Bellman, so that he can do the dumb stuff.
But I
just remembered one of my...
getting any Norwegian friends.
One of my favorite Bellman jokes is when a police officer coming out on a lake because Bellman is dynamite fishing. Like, Bellman, you can't be dynamite fishing. That's illegal. And Bellman just looks at him, lights another stick of dynamite, tosses it over to him, and goes, "You here to talk or to fish?"
Andrea said blonde jokes are just dumb. Yeah.
Sorry.
Norwegian people jokes.
The same about Sweden.
Yeah. And also, both sides make jokes about the Finns.
Yeah, but the Finnish jokes are almost more cruel because I feel like it's worse to make fun of someone. I feel like it's one thing to make fun of someone for being dumb, another to make fun of someone because you say they're all violent drunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's uncomfortable.
Which is too bad because some of those Finnish jokes are pretty funny.
But what would people make fun of Swedes about? Like, oh, you recycle too much. Have to buy garbage because you recycle too much.
Yes. People have made that joke.
Yeah, but that's about it. Well, there was the thing in that Eurovision joking thing with people in the war, and there's chaos and stuff going on, and the guy's like, "Okay, everybody, do you want to do this or do you want to do that?"
Yes. I think we should return fire. What do you think?
Say it with a Swedish accent.
I think we should return fire. What do you think?
Well, I think...
Maria, do you think we should return fire on these guys who are shooting at us? Swedish army.
It's so cute when you talk like that. It's adorable.
Ah, you.
Oh, I didn't know that. Finnish jokes are often almost gory. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, like, the whole thing.
The violent drunks thing.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm just going to do one. I don't believe that this is actually how Finns are, but just because of how...
Just as an example.
Yeah, just as an example. Which is the Finnish father who turns to his sons and says, Boys, don't hit each other with your fists like that. You got new knives for Christmas.
My lovely wife did a ton of vegetable jokes about me when she still worked in the supermarket.
Oh, yes, you were going to do your vegetable.
Yes, but I had a different one I wanted to share.
Yes.
So, there was an old man on his deathbed.
yeah, it's right. It's one of her 4 jokes, so I know it.
Shut up. You have not that many. Well, we haven't had a reason to share one of our 4 jokes. We haven't met any new people
That's
in forever.
true.
So it's still been a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is hilarious. A man's on his deathbed. And all that he wants is chocolate chip cookies. He's dreamed about them. He knows that if he could just have some chocolate chip cookies, it would be the last thing that he would want and he could die peacefully. And he wants them so much that all of a sudden, he starts to smell them. They smell absolutely beautiful. And he opens up his eyes and he sees a steaming plate near him. And he uses his last bit of strength. And he reaches his hand over. And he can feel the warmth coming from the cookie. And he almost has it. When someone swats his hand away and says, "Hey, you leave them cookies alone. They're for the funeral."
We should comment that joke on John Green's video because he talked about like how his preferred type of jokes are the ones that are funny but also a bit sad, and if you really think about them, there's something to learn from them, and I feel like that one really qualifies.
Yeah. Monique's here, and she doesn't know our 4 jokes. Do you want to say one before I do the cabbage and the carrot?
I'm sort of like I'm sort of running out
okay,
of
that's
steam
cool.
here.
I wanted to just open up the floor for you. Okay. So, I need to clear some space.
Can I do the punchline?
Sure. So there's a cabbage and a carrot, and they're on one side of the road. But one day, the carrot decides it's sick of being on this side of the road. It needs a change of scenery, and over there, across the street, the grass is much greener. So the carrot wiggles up out of the ground and goes to the other side and goes back into the ground and goes, "Oh yeah, cabbage, that's nice. Come on over." And the cabbage wiggles up out of the ground and runs across the road, but he's just not fast enough, and he's run over by a semi. And they get to the hospital, and the doctor says,
"The good news is we were able to save his life. The bad news is he'll be a vegetable for the rest of his life." I sort of messed up the punchline a bit by using the phrase, using the word life twice in the punchline. Lost a bit of the punch.
Well, next time. We'll be ready next time.
Yes.
I say it like this. I have good news and I have bad news about your friend the cabbage. The good news is he's going to be okay.
Oh, well, you can't say he's going to be okay.
Oh, right.
He's still alive.
He's still alive. Okay, now I messed it up again. Curtain.
Good night. We're done here.
Oh, snap.
Nice. Although I am getting to be about done.
Okay.
So, good night.
Wow, what a beautiful...
Tip your waiter. Try the veal. Or is this?
Spay and neuter your pets.
Or is it tip? Or is it tip the veal?
Tip the veal.
You know, cow tipping.
Spay and neuter your waiter.
Try your pets? No. You just good night.
Yes. You're the best.
No, you are. Oh, Kitty.
Whoa.
Sorry. Okay, get it right. You say you're the best. I say no, you are, and that's when you go. Okay.
Okay. You're the best.
No, you are.
Okay. Thanks for being here. Does anybody want to keep hanging out with me or whatever, or tell your bad jokes or whatnot? Because I'm open to hanging out. But Andres, we would never offend you. Because we don't actually care about those kind of jokes. Ian said he should have finished that with walking down imaginary stairs. Yes! That is the perfect place to do a stair walk. He missed out. But he's also quite tall, so and not as limber as he used to be. On the trampoline, we're going to have to take down the trampoline soon. And I was like, before we take it down, I really want to try to do the thing where I land on my back and come back up. Because I haven't done that in so long, but I was scared. This is what happens as your body gets a little bit older. Andreas säger, ja men är det inte Fingel Olsen som ligger där borta? In English that is some Fingel Olsen that's back there. But I don't know what you're referring to. So men han, are you dead? Are you referring to my joke about the cookies? He wasn't dead yet. Let me know what your context is. I'm trying to figure out what is behind me that you could be referring to. This is something that I have. It's my little epic knife from Carcassonne, France. Oh, it's an old joke. I'm just reading the comment as it comes. It's an old joke. No, isn't he dead? So how are you? How are you lovely people doing? Do you have any jokes you like to share? Did you have fun? Are you glad that you came? I'm glad you came. I love to hear Mårten laugh. It's such a great feeling. So, my friend Nanny, she's been on this channel a few times, and I've been on her channel making little guest appearances and creating things, vlogs and whatnot. She just did a video of making a Taylor Swift dress, embroidering all these flowers, spending weeks. She spent weeks and weeks on this thing, and it's such a good video. So I really, really want everybody to check it out. I'm just going to write the name of her channel so you can look her up. Seamstress. That lady is talented. You know, when you see people, you think, why don't they have 1 million subscribers? They're so stinking talented. She's like the first person on my list that I think that. Okay, so the old joke is, I don't quite get it, Andreas. I wonder if it just gets lost in translation. Is the fact that you've currently gone down to 15 hours a week, where do you work? Oh, to keep your anxiety levels in check. I'm really glad that you're able to do that. Like, it's so rough when people feel like they don't have any choice, or, don't have any choice about working more than their mental health or their physical health can handle. Ooh, Gaia's got a joke book. That's great. Well, if you think of a good one, you can share it another time. No pressure. Yeah. Well, I'm really, really glad that I had this live stream to look forward to. It was another day of just not seeing many people, and it's just really great to know that I can look forward to connecting. And I finally did the questions and answers video. I don't know if you noticed or got the notification for it, but I finally did that, and that was a lot of fun to record. So if you want to go check that out, feel welcomed. Andre says, yes, I'm blessed to be able to step down. Oh, cool. You bought a used sewing machine. Very neat. So, does your lovely wife know about Nanny's channel Seamstress? Because that's a great place to see cool sewing projects. See you later, JW. Pretty sure your name's Jim, but my brain is a little bit sleepy sometimes. Take care. Oh. Hello, Fatma. Sorry if I say your name wrong. When I was younger, this is my favorite joke. Why was Tigger looking in the toilet bowl? He was looking for poo. I loved that joke when I was a kid, too. Yay, again, got the notification. Always good to hear when people's notifications are working. I was a little bit bummed that I accidentally had a muted part, but it's just one sentence in the very beginning, and I actually put chapters on the video so that people can see what the different questions are really easily. So, and if you're good at reading lips, you can see that question, or you can just see it in the chapter. So Andres had a sewing machine, but they had to sell it. Yeah, I'm glad you were able to get another thing. Almost nothing is irreplaceable. Sometimes you just have to wait a minute to replace something that you really liked. Andres said, everything comes down to poo. Yes, it does. Especially when you have small kids. I love flea markets and Lopeses and all that stuff. I can't stand buying anything new. You can find such treasures for so much cheaper. Rightio. Well, thank you for being here today. It's been lovely. And hugs and nostrils of death.